the United States military. If you're curious about the process of joining the military, or if you've just been interested in how that works, then this video is for you. So being from a small town, I always had the desire to serve. My father, he worked at the VA hospital in a psychology department. So I was always around veterans. A lot of my friends served. Whenever I saw a military related film like Saving Private Ryan or The Pacific or Band of Brothers, I felt like it should be in me in the uniform. So when I graduated high school and I went to college at BYU, I started pursuing an Army ROTC scholarship there, or at least I joined the Army ROTC program in hopes of getting a scholarship and doing it that way. For me, my military path, it wasn't really like straightforward and necessarily simple. I kind of pursued a few different avenues and ended up in the Marine Corps. But I guess this was my experience, and I think it could provide some value to someone else who wanted to pursue something similarly, or if you're curious of that process. So I did Army ROTC for a year. I decided not to pursue that because I was young, I had some other things going on, and I thought maybe I'd revisit it later. That being said, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. So I did that for a year, and then I ended up paying for my own college, graduated I was getting close to graduating in 2017, and that military, I guess, yearning was still in my heart. So I just started seeing recruiters. I went by the Army recruiters, the Marine recruiters. Honestly, I was just way more impressed with the Marine Corps recruiters. They were much more professional and organized and motivating. And for me, that's what swayed me. I didn't do a ton of research on like career paths and jobs. I did some, but I didn't maybe look in the right places. But regardless, I went with the Marine Corps, started the application process. It's not an easy application. I'd say it's maybe like applying for college. You have to write some essays, get some letters of rec. You have to hopefully have good grades. There's a physical component. And then I started working out with other applicants while I was awaiting acceptance. For me, that happened pretty fast. I got acceptance in 2017, and I shipped off to Marine Corps Officer Candidate School in the winter of 2018. So I went the officer route because I had already gone to college. But if you went right out of high school, you would meet with the recruiter and go the enlisted route. Application process and things would be different because it's not necessarily as particular just to get you in. I wouldn't say it's easy. You still have to do some testing to figure out what job you're going to get and things like that. But it's, it is different. So anyways, for me, I went to Officer Candidate School in DC, Quantico. That was about 3 months long. My honest thoughts on Marine Corps Officer Candidate School is I was a little disappointed in some ways. The thing that it was hard, and I was expecting it to be hard. That was good. I liked the physical demands. I do think it's very physical demanding. A lot of cardio-based things, a lot of running. It's been a little while for me, but yeah, a lot of running. The thing that was a little disappointing is it was somewhat fraternity-like. You do a lot of dumb things repetitively, which I understand it can wear you out, maybe test your willingness to obey, I know there's psychology behind it, but I was a little disappointed with that because I was hoping it would be a little bit more like Surviving the Cut, if you've seen that old Discovery show, a little bit more big boy rules. Also, I think that a few of my leaders, my enlisted leaders, my sergeant instructors were amazing, but my officer leader at OCS was a complete idiot. And I knew it at the time, but I was a candidate, so obviously I didn't really dwell on that or have any say. But now that I'm older and got out of the military as a captain, if I saw him, I'd say you're an idiot and a douchebag, and he was. So that was a little frustrating, but luckily the enlisted leaders were awesome. Anyways, I did that. I got through those 3 months. That was challenging for sure, a lack of sleep. I did pretty well, and then I went to the basic school, which is also in Quantico. It's 6 months long. I didn't get any time off. I think I had like a weekend off, and then I started. The basic school is more like the college experience a little bit for officers in the Marine Corps. So it's kind of an alternating class structure and an in-field experience where you maybe spend a week in the class learning about something, and then you go out in the field for 3, 4, or 5 days executing that thing. So like squad tactics, then you'll go out and do it as a squad. And I liked it. I thought that was much more, it was more big boy rules, not completely, but it was kind of on your own. It was super challenging. The academic part was hard, very physically demanding. I liked it. I mean, I did officer candidate school in the winter in DC, which was really cold. And then so I was at PBS in the summer. I kind of like the winter. I'm not a big, didn't like the winter, but I'm not a big heat guy, and it's really hot over there. So that was a downside. I had like a few minor cases of heat stroke while I was there, which sucked. I didn't say anything about it because I didn't want it to hurt my placing or anything, but it sucked, you know. So yeah, so then I got my MOS, my military occupational specialty. I just, I had brain dead. But yeah, so I got that at the end of TBS. And my first choice, so it's interesting, they have like, you don't exactly get to choose your job, and I don't think it was executed really well in my class. I didn't want to be a logistics officer, but I put it 4th or 5th on the list. And even though I worked my ass off at TBS, and I think I graduated like 20th out of, I don't know, a couple hundred or so. So I would have thought that I would have been able to get my top choice. For whatever reason, I got logistics officer, even though I maybe wanted to do some other things more. So that was disappointing to me, honestly. I felt a little devastated and betrayed because I did work so hard. I think that's something about this video. I'm just walking through my experience, but that's something maybe to take away is when you sign up and join, you're not in control. Like, you're not in control of your path or what you're going to do. You really are signing yourself away to the military, the US government, and whatever they want to do with you or wherever they want to put you, they will do with you. And you can guide that path, but you're not in control. So I got the job that I got, a logistics officer. I went to North Carolina. I did that school. That school was much more chill. It was like an easy college course for the most part. Like, it was maybe 7 or 8 hours a day, but not super demanding, not a lot of homework. And it was fun. It was in the fall. Yeah, it was like up to Thanksgiving. So it was in the fall in North Carolina. I really liked it. Jacksonville, North Carolina is not like the best place ever, but I liked it. It's by Outer Banks, and honestly, I could move there again. So finished that, and then I got my unit here in California. And my unit, it was 2-4, it was an infantry battalion, and I did 3.5 years here or so, and then I got out. When I joined initially, I was open-minded to doing longer. My plan wasn't just to do for just over 4 years, but that's how it worked out, and I made that decision. I knew fairly soon. I think that logistics just wasn't the perfect job for me, and I didn't really want to do that for 20 years. But there were some perks. I mean, when you're in, I got paid pretty decently. You don't really have to worry about much. Your healthcare is taken care of. I really did like most of my coworkers, especially when I was like a platoon commander. I liked the guys I served with. I was lucky, and everyone around you is pretty motivated, goal-oriented. You are physically fit, mentally tough. You get a lot of time throughout the day to kind of bullshit and have fun. So yeah, I mean, those are some perks. There are some perks for sure. And I guess this video is not about whether you should join or not, because I think that's a personal decision to make. And if you have it in your mind that you want to join, you're going to join. At least for me, that's how it was. I wanted to join, and no one could have led me astray from that. But what I would say is that if you are planning on joining, do your due diligence and do your homework. I mean, I would have maybe done some things differently, possibly. Honestly, if I would have joined, I would have maybe looked into a reserve contract option, because then maybe I could have activated on the back end and not been locked in. I don't know. Maybe I would have looked into the MLS options a little bit more and tried to figure out that system. I mean, hindsight 2020, but that's my advice to anyone. If they want to join, my advice is to do all your homework. Meet with multiple recruiters from different branches. Not only that, but talk to people who served in different branches, multiple people, get different opinions, and then just really do anything you can to set yourself up for success. Obviously, when you're in, and you're committed and give it your all. You have no choice. You're locked into a contract. Literally, I mean, you can't. It's very difficult to get out of that. You're not going to. It's not like a civilian job where you can bail and change things. You're in. So do your homework before you join to set yourself up for success to the best you can. Yeah. So I guess that's the quick, brief overview of my process. Very satisfied, I guess, overall. And hopefully I was able to show some B-roll clips here. I mean, I think it's not easy, and understand that it's going to forever impact your life, whether you see combat or not. And it's a sacrifice, and it's not like the movies, and you don't get glory or anything. So I don't know. Hopefully this was helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love to hear in the comments if there's anything that I can say further to help. And if you have questions on a personal level, just message me, and honestly, I'm happy to help, because that gives me fulfillment. And hopefully I can keep doing these kind of like thoughts, free reign videos. I'm working full time. I don't have a ton of time, but these are easier for me to do. And I do feel like my life experience for a 30-year-old, I've done a lot of random things that I might be able to share some value on and save you some mistakes. So please subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I really one day would love to be able to make videos on my own for a job. So that's it. Thanks.